In December of 1981, Dr. Robert Gentry was called to testify at an Arkansas trial in which the American Civil Liberties Union attempted to prevent the teaching of creation science in that state's public schools. He presented his findings regarding polonium radiohalos as evidence of an instantaneous creation of the granites. The ACLU brought one of the world's foremost geologists, Dr. Brent Dalrymple, to testify for evolution. But on the witness stand, no scientific evidence was offered to challenge this discovery for creation. Instead, it was referred to as, quote, just a tiny mystery that we can't quite explain.
They called me at the laboratory, and they said, you know, we know all about you. We know what you're doing. We know what you've published. And we want to, they had a group, and he was speaking for the group. He said, we want to give you a friendly warning, and that is that we don't want you to go to the trial. We're advising you strongly, do not go to that trial and do not testify in favor of your work. Your work. And he said, you know, if you will just resist the offer. They knew I had had an offer from the state of Arkansas. Said, we, quote, will leave you alone. In other words, we're not going to rock the boat. But if you go to the trial, then, you know, we're going to come down, we're going to put the hammer down on you. The very fact is that since that time, I left the laboratory, the scientific community, journals and editors and so forth, have basically closed the door, and that's why the public then is not hearing anything about this information.
You know, Robert Gentry has published work over many years in the scientific literature and on many subjects. His polonium halo results have been in the scientific journals for 25 years and couldn't be refuted at the Arkansas trial. You know, what surprises me is the unwillingness of the scientific community to bring his work to the center of the scientific discussion in a land that prides itself on freedom of inquiry and expression. We owe Dr. Gentry the opportunity to fully share his results, his discoveries, and his explanation for them.
Why hasn't the scientific community brought this evidence to the center of discussion? The essence of science is to test all theories by repeated experimentations. This is how the basic laws of physics and chemistry were discovered. This is how Dr. Gentry's results were obtained. If something is wrong, why haven't the evolutionists countered by publishing their findings in the scientific journals where his reports appeared?
Evolutionists would gladly have filled the pages of scientific journals in refuting this evidence for creation if they could have done so. Their failure exposes what long has been the best-kept secret in science. Evolutionists made a colossal mistake by building the theory of an evolving Earth on the premise that granites formed naturally without having firm scientific evidence to support this premise.